All right, hey everybody. Welcome back to a special episode of Smooth Talk. Hopefully, I'm going to be loud enough for you all. I'm actually going to do this one off of my phone for the first time in a while. It's just me today, and I thought, why not put it out there and try to make a video for you all that's fun? And it's going to be a little bit more personal and funny and all that good stuff. But what I did was I went online and I looked up personal questions on 3 different levels, and I also looked up 50 funny questions. So a lot of this, some of them may be fast, some of them may be slow, some of them may lead to a story. But like I said, we're just gonna have fun this time. Taylor was unable to be here. He had a family situation. Everything is fine that I'm aware of. It's just that he will be back, and this is kind of just one of those filler episodes. But I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to do my best to carry this along, and I can't promise you how long it will be. So I have my laptop here in front of me. It's more of a listening episode too, for anybody wondering, because it's literally just going to be a camera pointed at me. So I hope you enjoy this on a car ride. Again, I just hope that I'm loud enough for you all. Let's see. So this is Elite Daily. I just typed in personal questions to ask somebody. Went to one of the first ones I saw, and I actually like the setup of this because it says lightly personal questions, then it gets into a little bit more intense. So God only knows what I'm getting myself into. And yes, I do know my hair is perfect. Thank you. Uh, so that one would start with, who was your first crush? Well, I was born in 1990, and I don't know if they mean this figuratively or like in the real sense of the word. Uh, I actually fell under the genre of the Pink Ranger, Kimberly. As corny as that sounds, Power Rangers was out when I was a kid, and I think everybody that was my age at some point or another had a crush on her. Topanga, that one is definitely one from Boy Meets World. I love that story. Probably one of mine, if not favorite TV series of all time. I actually just finished Girl Meets World and absolutely loved it. I loved that they had some of the old cast in there. As I grew older, first crush. I would also go with Reese Witherspoon was up there for sure. Yeah, I think that would be about right. When was your first kiss? To be honest on that one too, I would have to say I was either 13 or 14. It was with pretty much the girl I'd say was my first girlfriend. We dated for a few years, but it was actually a really nice first kiss. To be completely honest, it was both of our first kiss. And even at that age, we lived out in the country, so I set up this little trail, and I had to go out in the woods. My mom had this little sanctuary area, and it was like in the fall because I remember having to try and make this place look perfect. I wanted it to be really like cute or romantic, even at that age. So I just raked leaves for like hours out there. And she came and hang out. We took a little walk, and it was actually a really nice moment. The some of the farm animals, like the cats and dogs, kind of roamed around with us when we walked out there. I mean, it wasn't like too far in the woods, maybe like I an eighth of a mile, if that. I don't even think it was that far, but and so we stood in the middle of it, and yeah, we had a kiss. It was actually really good. What attracts you to people? Uh, I think from this podcast, if you've been watching, I like outgoing people. I like people that are entrepreneurs, aren't just settling for the bare minimum. I like people that want to go out and try to better themselves. And it doesn't always have to be about money or life position. I think we put to that too much on a pedestal as well. What attracts me to people in general is just the willingness to work, the willingness to participate and be a part of society. And then on the backside, it's just not being closed minded. I mean, I'm all about opening my thought process up to everything. I also believe that we should stay true to ourselves. So even though I don't always agree with other people, I'm definitely about understanding their points of views. And I think when somebody can do that and be just purely kind to others, I think that's something that's missing. There was a girl I know in high school, and I'm not going to name her name and put her on blast. She was an amazing person. And I can't tell you once during high school when I saw her that even when somebody she didn't like would come up to her, that she would be like, just she would genuinely be nice to him. She would just say hi. You know, it's like that old saying, it costs nothing to be nice. It costs nothing to say have a nice day or hey back to somebody. So that attracts me. That's definitely an attraction. What's the most embarrassing thing you've done to get somebody's attention? I don't know if I told this story on a earlier podcast. It might have been on one of the first two or something like that. Uh, I think the first day I had a cell phone, I always tell that story. That was so embarrassing for me because we had flip phones, and on that the first day of my flip phone, I remember I'm like, I'm gonna get out of this car, and the girl I like is right over there, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to um, pull the phone out of my pocket, flip it open all cool, and act like I'm texting somebody like I'm important. And I get out, I start to walk down the sidewalk. I pull the phone out, and I mean, I flick it over dramatically, so hard that it flew out of my hand and hits the concrete sidewalk, bust open the battery on the back and stuff, and it actually scuffed part of the phone. Not in any bad way; those things were indestructible back then. But it was right in front of everybody, so I scampered over and picked it all up. That was it's hilarious to me to the day, but that was definitely something. I wouldn't say that I've had too many embarrassing moments because I was kind of wild, like in high school. I feel like, I mean, I did a lot of stupid things. What are you looking for in a relationship? That's a tricky one because a lot of people still actually wonder like why I'm single and stuff, and sometimes things don't work out. But I think that trust, religion, and basically just putting each other above all else, and that's a hard thing to do. I mean, we have to. I think in today's world, and I'm going to speak from a guy's perspective. So don't take offense if there's a girl listening to this. Just understand, I know that there are girls that probably feel the exact same way, but for guys. But I feel like for myself, I don't believe in changing who I am. You know, I like to play cards. I like to skateboard. I like to game. I'm a huge nerd. I love this podcast. And and like I said, I'm a religious person too. So that being said, I want somebody to accept me for me, and I feel in today's world, at least in my side of it, it's there's a lot of take and no give. People expect you to change who you are for them completely. And in my case, it's like I accept you for you. You should accept me for me. And I think that on the religious aspect, that can always break things apart too, though, because that's a hard one. I think you both have to somewhat be on the same page with that, and that is not always the case, sadly. Moving on. What's what's your greatest relationship strength? Yeah, I'm gonna go back to religion. I think that you guys have to be connected there. You know, I found out some pretty cool things, even recently, that, like, let's say in Hebrew, when they're talking about husband and wife, and Hebrew is actually read right to left. That if you look at those words, there's symbols in there. Uh, Only two symbols are different. So let's just say I have a pen and pad. How about that? I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for this one. Let's do it like that. So in Hebrew, if these two symbols are the same and these two symbols are the same. This is the symbol for husband, and this is all metaphor. And this is the symbol for wife, right? So when you take these two symbols and you put them together, that means God, because we were created in God's image. So I think that was really cool to learn. And basically, what they're saying is there's nothing stronger in a relationship, or a relationship can't be broke if it has God in it. Okay. And then one of them stands for fire, if I'm not mistaken. And it just shows that without God, there's chaos. So I thought that was just really neat, but I'm going to say religion. What do I think is the cutest thing about me? Oh, yeah, it's my ass. I got a ghetto booty. I know it. You can look at it. I don't mind. Your celebrity crush right now? Oof. It'd be hard. That's a hard one. Even right now, I wouldn't entirely be sure. I'd have to look up celebrities. I don't think I watch enough movies to really know. Probably Jessica Biel, because I think she's fine. What's your dream date activity? Oh, for me, dream date, anything wild and adventurous. I'm just all about, to be completely honest, I've had really great times doing just goofy stuff, window shopping or going to the city, but ideally, dream date means no expenditures. So I'm going to say, I'd love to go skydiving with somebody, because I love jumping out of planes. I've done it a lot. So that's something that I would love to do, or just anything really wild. I like to get my adrenaline up sometimes. Let's see. Mid-level personal. Oof, here we go. Tell me about your first love. Eek. Yee. That's deep. Well, here's the thing. So that's always kind of a tricky one in itself, because what you think is love and what love is can be two different things. So the first relationship I was in, at some ways, the one when I was really young, probably 14 to 16, you could say it's puppy love or you could say it's real love. Even for me, I'm not sure. I think what that was for me was life. And that's a weird way to put it, but I really think that that was life for me, because I care deeply about that person. I still think and wish them the best. But since we both went through it together, a lot of those experiences, I feel like life in general, we were learning about it together. So to say it was pure love, I'm not sure. I think that the intentions were right. I think that our care for each other was right. But I think we were just on the ride together, and that's who we had. And we made the most of it. And I'm still appreciative for that person. Definitely, like I said, I think they hold a spot for me. What real love was, I think as we get farther along in high school, as far as what your first real love might be or is, uh, I feel like that was probably it. And it goes into the next question. What about your first heartbreak? So I think those two correspond really well. I think after learning so much, I wanted to take a chance, and then what would cause heartbreak? Okay. I think every time this is touchy stuff. So every time that we put ourselves out there for love, we have to expect that there's a possibility of heartbreak. But that's the risk that we are willing to take. In the case of heartbreak, I think it was a necessary process to love that person and for us to separate, because they're doing great in life now, as far as I know. And even for myself, I I put it on a pedestal for a standard. And that's weird to say that about a high school love, but I think when we're younger too, we have a sense of purity in our hearts that make love very, very, very pure and what we want it to be. Because even at that age, all we care about, all we think about, all we want is for that person and yourself to have a future and success together. Sadly, as we grow up, we realize that you can't take away somebody else's opportunity. You know, in this case, this person was going to college. They were going to go to a great college. I wasn't going to hold them back. I saw the writing on the wall. And even though it kind of broke my heart at the time, I knew and I thought it was what was best for them. So that's why that relationship ended. And, but to be fair, it's like, they went on, they did great things. So I'm really happy for them. I'm really proud of them. And in my life, I didn't know where I was going. So I didn't want to hold them back. Now, should it have mattered? Probably not, but it did to me. I didn't feel like I was in the same category. So and my life turned out really well, I think. I'm a homeowner and I really enjoy my life. I feel like I've been very blessed with every opportunity I've gotten. I have a job that I love. So, in the long term, I think it all worked out. Okay. Is there something you've ever kept from a partner? No. No. Honesty is the best policy. I mean, I think that sometimes you have to speak up. If you're afraid of confrontation with your significant other, then you're obviously not a good couple. And I hate to say that. I hate to say it. It's just the truth. I can think of thinking of it like this. Okay, we all say that our wives, girlfriends, all that. Oh, they're my best friend. And my question is, are they really your best friend? Because we've all have a best friend and we've all been able to get in confrontations with them and by the morning it blows over, but I think that a lot of times we come out better because of that confrontation, because you're willing to let them know, hey, this is pissing me off, hey, this is aggravating me. So if you're not willing to get out there and tell them how you feel, then I really don't know if you could sit there and say that you're in a good relationship. Do you have any regrets from your past relationships? Yeah, that goes back to maybe kind of trying to change who I am, but also evolving and understanding from those past relationships. So I think a lot of guys, we have what we call, what me and Taylor, we joke about, we call it the Superman complex. We want to fix things. It's just kind of the way we were raised. We were in in the era where if something's broke, go fix it. That's how our parents raised us, and that's how we want to be. So sometimes when I'm in a relationship, I find myself being overbearing at times, and I can honestly say that it's like I'll be like, hey, I want to fix that, hey, I want to help you, hey. And sometimes I forget that maybe that person that I'm dating wants this to be their trial. This is something that they want for themselves to figure out. Look at that nice little vein there. That's awesome. Look at that. Bam. Okay, but sorry. Uh, let's see. Do you get jealous easily? Not anymore. I think that's high school again. I mean, I'm 33, and when you're in high school, it's easy to see somebody with a little bit more, get jealous, and basically want those things. But in all honesty, I'm kind of more of a cheerleader for people now. I really believe that we should encourage each other, push each other, and pray for each other just to do better, And jealousy can come in a lot of different forms. But I always reflected to what if it's me in that position? Do I want other people to shit talk me or say something to somebody else that would create friction in that relationship? You know, I don't want to cause friction anywhere for somebody. So honestly, I just wish him the best. If somebody goes out and my worst enemy, I don't even know who that would be, but if my worst enemy was to win the lottery, good for them. Like honestly, it's like I'm a very blessed person. I'm a very happy person. Um, do you ever want to get married to someone? Ooh, this is a fun one. Yeah, yeah, I do. And this one's gonna be a fun, controversial one because I'm gonna say the word that not a lot of people like. Uh, I think a lot of marriages fail these days due to incentive. Okay. I believe in prenups. I absolutely believe in prenups. I think that they should have them for both sides of the party. And people say, why? Why, John? It's like, well, if you really love them, that's usually the case. You should believe in everything. And it's like, yeah, yeah. But I believe in taking out incentive to leave. I think that's something that we're missing in today's world where we have incentive to stay. We are so focused on what's the next best thing that we forget what's right in front of us and what's been there from the beginning. So for me, I do want to get married. Will I have a prenup? Probably. I mean, I don't see myself getting married without one, but I believe that even if a lady that I marry is doing better than me, I would want her to do the same. And I really mean that because I don't want the incentive to leave. I want to believe in what we have, and I want to believe that it's not based off of assets. I want to believe that it's based off of love. What's the favorite thing about starting a new relationship with somebody? You know the answer. How did you get over your last bad breakup? I believe that I have a weird outlook on life. Even though I said, yeah, I want to get married someday, my aspect of life is this is just step one. I don't really, like I said, I'm religious. I have my own belief of that. I think that people that are religious so commonly just think that, oh, I'm going to live this life and I got to get everything done in this life. And they're not thinking about what's after. We all claim to believe in an afterlife, but then we don't want to acknowledge what can happen there. So for me, even though it might have been a little tough, it's one of those where I personally believe that I have all the time in the world. Let's see. Yeah. How did your parents' relationship impact your view of love? Um. I think the honesty part comes back in. I think understanding that are important. My mom was a single mother for a long time, and we struggled a lot when I was a child. So knowing that she didn't have a relationship with my biological father, you know, I can only imagine the struggle she went through. I'm gonna throw this out there that I'm a visual learner. I see a lot of things and I just reflect them back. People today are so quick from high school to college to marriage to house to cars. They don't know how to slow down. And again, I understand that for females, yes, as far as having kids, that is a thing that we have to consider. But when I see somebody that's 21, and I'm not dogging, I'm just saying my point of view. 21 that's married and now they're in a job or they're still in college or they're getting a good job and now they're pregnant or the guy the guy has got his wife pregnant. They take on all these burdens all at once because even though they're not necessarily burdens, they are. It's a lot to process. You know, do you have time to even enjoy the moment? I mean, people that are going to college, that's a whole new world for a lot of people. I always say the military was my college. And when I got into the military, I would tell people the craziest thing to me was how many people were atheists. It was a culture shock. So I think that we sit there and we rush what we want out of high school because we're still in a protected bubble and we don't want things to change. And again, we're scared of maybe understanding more of the world. So as far as seeing my parents and how things went, I don't feel like my mom was entirely ready for us, and she had me at later years, but that's part of her life. I wanted to be, and I am at a point now to where it's like, if I'm in a relationship, I have a place to enjoy it. If I have a child, I have a place to put that child. I don't have to stress about work. I'm very happy with what I do. I think so many people rush, 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 and then they get themselves in a trap. They can't just up and leave work one day if they're tired of it. They're stuck where they're at. Their bills complicate their lives to a point of I can't. Maybe they're not happy with the person they're with anymore, and then they turn around and they go, "Well, I can't leave because if I leave, I can't afford this lifestyle by myself." So I'd say the biggest thing is making sure that the relationship is right and taking your time. Even though sometimes that is a flaw of mine, I sometimes rush. But that's what I've definitely learned from them. One thing you wish you could tell your ex right now. I hope they're doing well. And that's all of them. I really do. I really, really do. Let's see. Deeply personal. I'm not promising I'm going to answer these ones. Tell me about the first time having sex. Okay. We're not going to talk about that. But what I will say is, again, be ready. Be ready. I think kids rush it. I rushed it. I was an idiot. Don't rush it. Take your time. Make sure it's with the right person. Make sure that you're safe. I will say that too. Make sure that you're safe. But care about that person. Because once it's gone, guys. It's like we don't think about it, but you will. Oh, God. Okay. I'm not answering any of these. What's your favorite body part to kiss? The neck. Have you ever regretted having sex with somebody? Yep. What's the sexiest thing someone could say to you right now? I don't know if there's any one particular thing, but I will just say that I think it's one of those where they would just say, "I'm happy for you." Same genuine vibe. It's more of a vibe check. It's just like I hope there's no negative energy. I mean, we all have our days, and it's beautiful to be able to talk to somebody, but in this case, just being happy. All right. So that was fun on those questions. I'm going to move to a couple other ones. Like I said, this is kind of a filler video. Me and Taylor will probably have one coming out later. But I just wanted to give you all some content. And again, get a little one-on-one interaction here. Okay, what reality show would you appear on? Ooh, Survivor. That's the one. I want to test myself. Even though I don't know how it is nowadays, but from season 1 way back when that actually premiered, that's what I'm talking about. I want to just put me out there, make me work for it. If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be under? Who would you play? Oh, fuck. It'd probably be a sad comedy. Bits of action. And probably the main character, I guess, because it's a movie about me. If money didn't exist, what job in the world would you do? Obviously, I like what I'm doing here. I like having a podcast. That's one of the reasons that we had created this is because I feel passionate about talking to people. I think we're all so closed off from each other. We're scared. It's like, oh no, I might say the wrong thing, or oh no, this person might not like my opinion, or this, that, and the other. And it's like, look, my opinion doesn't mean shit. Okay. And I think that's okay. I'm just throwing it out there. We're all equal, in my opinion. So I think it's just important that we don't close ourselves off as much. I think that sometimes when we realize people are vulnerable or they're the type of like different mindsets, it helps us. So I'm always going to be willing to kind of throw myself out there and give you all something to listen to. And I just hope you like it. And if you do, like the video. Ba, 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 ba. Would you like the world with magic in it? And they're saying like in a Harry Potter sense. I don't know. I think that, everybody's initial answer is yes. But to be honest with you, if I was waving a wand around and able to do a lot of cool stuff, and then somebody else was just like, yeah, I can't do that, I'd feel bad. So I think it's neat, but unless everybody can do it, you know, what what would you do with your 15 minutes of fame? This one would probably go back to just uniting people and just telling them be there for each other, and especially in America, be grateful that you're here. Okay. I think that everybody should have to go to maybe a third world country, or maybe watch a video on a country that is north of South Korea and just see what it's like to live in those areas. And it may change some perspective, but it would just to bring light on some of those issues and to tell everybody again, slow down, slow down. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? I still want to go to Iceland. I want to try and go lift some stones. I think that'd be fun, even though my body is just a in complete shambles. But yeah, that'd definitely be something I'd want to do. Uh, what celebrity do you wish you would run into while walking around town? Probably Paul Rudd or Will Ferrell, or somebody funny, somebody that's maybe even Tom Cruise, just because he's crazy and I love him. It's like I'd want somebody that's just like willing to have a conversation, willing to be out there. Keanu Reeves, obviously, that would be awesome. I heard he's chill. Love his John Wick movies. What business pitch would you make if you were on Shark Tank? No idea. That one, I have no idea. I think somebody said a barbecue with a light in it, or a mailbox with a light in it. That's it. That's the one. Pay me now. Pay me now. All right. If you could pass one talent on to your children, what would it be? Well, if I had children, I would tell them my general knowledge of health. That would be what I'd want to pass down to them, is knowledge, because it's up to the person to what they do with it. But in our case, I feel like not enough kids understand health the way that they should. We're all just taught to eat, grow, and we don't get into the fine print. And I don't think enough parents get into the fine print of why protein is good. Like when I see parents come in, and I know financially some things can be a struggle, but I hate it when somebody comes in and their kid asks for a protein bar and that parent says, no, these are for adults. That is my big pet peeve. They're not for adults. They're for everybody. Protein is a macro. It is an essential calorie, and that's very important. So just to me, It's just the understanding of nutrition. What food represents your personality? Pizza. Always pizza. A lot of different toppings, different mood, different days. It works. What's your favorite restaurant food? Sushi. By far. What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten? I think shark, maybe. I'm pretty sure. I know I've had like octopus and squid and all that. I really want to try scorpion. That's one thing that's on my bucket list. I still haven't tried. And I think I would like to try duck's feet, even though people are probably like, what? Da, 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 da. A food you avoid at all costs. Easy. Canned peas. Can't do them, people. It's like I don't mind peas in a pot pie. I don't mind just a few sprinkled in, but canned peas will make me throw up every time. It's probably just a texture thing. I can't entirely say, but yeah. Oh, here's one. Pineapple on pizza? Question mark? Yes. The answer is yes, because I like most pizzas. Do you prefer the center or the corner piece of a brownie? What type of question is that? The center? The center? I prefer donuts. Yeah. What's the weirdest food combination you've ever tried? Way back when I lived in Kansas City, I was 20, 21, and I think I was menstruating, is what we call that, where I was working out. I think I just got out of work, worked out, went, cashed my check, and I was doing my grocery shopping for the week, and I would always treat myself to one item that I liked, whether it be like a DVD, a shirt, or something like that. I always believed in saving, treating yourself, and then getting yourself a nice meal. And then the rest of it needed to be, still prioritized, but saving bills and in that order. So the food I got one time, I got this Meat Lovers DiGiorno pizza, and I know this is going to sound nasty, but I got canned sardines and I baked it. It cooked perfectly. I ate the whole pizza. Not ashamed. What I would do to be 20 again. Loved it. Tried it again like 2 months later. Threw it out. Couldn't even eat it. So I don't know. Maybe I was pregnant. Who knows? But I definitely that was the weirdest one. Spill your secrets category. Let's see. What famous people do you obsess on social media? I honestly don't have too many famous people I follow. A lot of fitness, but I mean, I think it's no secret that I like The Rock, but I mean, me and what, half the fucking planet. So yeah, I don't think that's really obsession. What is one thing you own that you wish you didn't? I have no idea. That's a tricky one. That's a weird question. What did you last Google? I actually know that one. Because of that whole thing talking about the country that is north of South Korea. I was looking up imagery from there, just like weird things, what they're allowed to take photos of. Really crazy. I get into different cultures and try to understand, again, different aspects of life. So that was actually the last thing I Googled. What is your guilty pleasure? I don't know. I have no idea on that one either. I don't know if I feel bad about doing something, then I probably shouldn't be doing it. What's one of the best things, or what's one thing you've never told your best friend? but will tell me. What haven't I told Taylor? I don't know, man. I've been really honest with him. I'd say if I had to tell something to my best friend is that he has all the potential in the world. So, what was the best reason for faking sick? Oh, jam session. When I was in middle school, we lived out in the country. So one thing I absolutely loved doing was every now and then I'd be like, oh, I'm sick. I don't want to go in. I just wanted the house to myself. I just wanted to have some alone time. And I would go in the living room and put on a CD that I liked or turn on the radio. And I'd have the TV going, but it'd be on mute, on like a movie that I'd probably seen a million times. And I would just jam out in the living room, just have a great time. And then if your parents ever came home early because we had like a big window, it's like if I saw their vehicle coming down the driveway, it was just like turn it all off, run upstairs, act like you're taking a nap. But I don't know. Being a kid, I think that back in the early 2000s, as well, that was just fun to us. We loved music. We loved listening to CDs. We loved the access that we had to it. I feel like it's almost too readily available. What song do you know word for word? Way too many. I'm obviously a Blink 182 fan, so I know probably their first couple albums all too well. Okay. Would you rather? Yeah. Would you rather speak in rhymes or riddles for the rest of your life? I'd rather rhyme because at least I could tell the person what I actually wanted. Would you rather live in the 1800s or the 3000? Go into the future. That's a tricky one. I'm going to go with I think I could be great in the 1800s, but I'd probably go crazy, so I'm going to say the 3000s. Let's see what's there. Would you rather wear only comfortable shoes whenever you go outside or comfortable shoes 24 hours a day? Oh, uncomfortable. Would you rather wear only uncomfortable shoes when you went outside or comfortable shoes 24 hours a day? I mean, if they're on my feet forever, I probably wouldn't notice. So I'm going to say I'd just rather wear shoes. Would you rather explore the depths of the ocean or outer space? So the only thing that terrifies me is probably open water. That's probably my greatest fear. If I don't see land, it's like, no, don't like it. So I can only imagine how I'd do in outer space. Either one, you're a moment away from imminent death if something goes wrong. But because of the circumstance, man, if it was like Star Trek and I was in a spaceship like that, I'd do that before I'd go underneath the water. But yeah, that's just me. Would you rather speed read or run at an incredible pace? I got time. I'd rather just run at a pace. Would you rather be able to would you rather be able to read your thoughts, your boss, or your parents? Oh, okay. Would you rather be able to read your thoughts, your boss, or your parents? My parents. I mean, yeah. Just because. Would you rather have 5 hand-sized clones of yourself or 1 full-size clone? Yeah, we're going to go with the full-size clone. We'll just call it a twin. Would you rather live without heating or air conditioning? Which one would you rather go without? I'm going to go with uh, you can always put more blankets on. So, I think I'd need air conditioning. I think I'd get hot and I'd get bothered. I think I'd want some AC. All right, let's find one more good one. One more good one. Bum, 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 bum. I hope you all have enjoyed this. I mean, I know it's all over the place, but like I said, I was just trying something different, and yeah. All right. What superpower do you wish you had? Telekinesis. That, or I'd rather, I don't know, maybe be super fast. I always thought that'd be cool. I know I said one more, but I'm gonna look at these and see if there's any good ones. How long would you last in a zombie apocalypse? Probably not long, to be honest. It's like, yeah, maybe longer than a few people, but I think it's a coin flip. Everybody be panicked, chaos, who you trust, who you don't trust. I mean, it's just complete anarchy, but maybe a day. I'll give myself that. Bum, bum, bum. If you could travel back to any point in history, what would it be? I think that if I could go somewhere like as a ghost, I don't think that I'd want to go there as the person I am because language barriers. But I would probably go back to the time of ancient Rome, or maybe along the lines of when Plato was around. Because I do have kind of a neat fascination with Atlantis and maybe even to when Pangea was still a thing. I love history, so just in my aspect, I'd like to see how things kind of disconnected. I'd like to see world events when they happened, uh, like that. I think that is pretty much going to be it. I think that's if you had to be a Disney. If I had to be a Disney character, who would it be? Corey Matthews. That's who I'd be. Well, everybody, like I said, I know this was a little different approach, but I just thought it'd be fun to throw this out there, try something new, and try to connect with you all. We will have another video coming. I do appreciate you all watching. Please leave a comment if there's anything that made you laugh, if you agree with anything. I know it's a little scattery, but when you're doing this stuff on the fly, even though it can be that way, it's more authentic. I feel like it's just more real. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all have a great day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you at the next one.
Who are you?